What is up, you guys? The Jaeger here, coming at you with a quick little is it worth / review for Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor. It's going to be a new game, over-the-shoulder, third-person, RPG-ish style game. It's kind of like the hack and slash genre, sort of like God of War, Rise, and a couple other games like that. It does a few things amazingly, and then it does a few things that I don't really like, and I just kind of want to outline that for you in a quick little video, show you some of the features from the game, see if you guys might be interested in as well. But first things first, the coolest part of this game is going to be the Nemesis system. I'm going to show you a quick little clip really fast of how you can die to an enemy, because I had died earlier in the game, and I was trying to find another enemy and let them kill me, because I wasn't recording at that moment, and I just wanted to show you what it does. Basically, when you die in the game, it allows the people who killed you, they have a name, and they're allowed to become a captain, and then they can move up, and then actually in this case, the guy who killed me earlier was nearby, and he helped in the fight, and it helped him gain more points towards getting to a higher ranking. It's very cool how that works. And then even later on in the game, I had died to another guy, and you can normally get down and recover, lets you try to move these sticks and get out of it. But I've actually had guys just not even give you that option. They just walk away from the fight and say you're like a coward, or say you're not worth their time, and then they still get leveled up from it. It doesn't even give you a chance to fight back. So I think it's cool in the sense that the game kind of takes it into its own control, and it's not something that you can always predict. It's not a predictable outcome. It's not a predictable situation that you can bank on. Hey, I'm going to get down, but I can come out of this, because sometimes you can't. That's a really cool aspect of the game. One of the first things that I did notice that I was initially disappointed at, but then I came to terms with and I actually really enjoy, is the fact that the cutscenes do not have an amazing graphic fidelity. They're not like other games. Like I know Diablo does it amazingly, where the cutscenes are the best looking thing ever. But with that being said, the in-game Diablo versus the cutscenes are a world apart. This, it's the exact same graphics. So the game itself, the gameplay looks really good, but normally you have games that have higher graphics in their cutscenes just because they can spend a little more time in it. But this one does it the same, which allows for a seamless transition, and couple that with really good voice acting and a really good story. It makes it really easy to flow with the story, and it makes it really easy to kind of go from times when they're talking to you and kind of getting lost in the moment, and then you're right back to battle and you're in control. So from that aspect, this game is really amazing at doing that. But then at other times, it is very clunky in the way it takes you to menus, the way it transitions you sometimes, and it has awkward loading screens at awkward times, which I don't really agree with. Aside from that, the introduction tutorials I really liked, just because they were very intuitive, they were very helpful, they were very to the point, whereas most introduction tutorials tend to be more, you mash square 23 times, or depending on what console you're on, but you just mash a button multiple times to get through the tutorial because you don't care about reading it, and you go try to figure things out on your own. Well, this one, it's very point blank, very simple. It's like, hey, this button does this, do that. This button does this, it does that. So it's not a lot to read. It's very concise information. It's very short, and you actually read it. Or at least I found myself reading it for once. And it's just very simple the way they project it. So from that sense, I definitely enjoy it. It is kind of a big install on the PlayStation and Xbox. But aside from that, I don't really have any other negatives. It's been really enjoyable to play. It's really fun to go through. I'm curious to see what the Season Pass is going to bring as well, because I know that they're going to be supporting this game a little bit further on. But like I said, the Nemesis system is super cool. Another cool thing you can do about it is, whether you're doing the story at the time or you're just free roaming, you can find these guys who are worms, and they'll give you information with your wraith powers. And you can basically go around and you can scout out who all the upper level enemies are. You can scout out their weaknesses, and you can already have a good idea from who they are. And then at times there'll be captains and higher level people who it'll say, hey, they hate this guy, and they become enraged when they're near this guy. But that guy might not even be unlocked. So that's what I was using the worms for initially, was to just try to figure out who they hate and who to try to get them near. So from that sense, it's very cool. You can kind of do it your way. And with the wraith powers and the stealth versus the hack and slash up front, you can really play your way however you want. I found that the hacking slashing was good for what it is. It's not really my favorite genre. I'm not really a big fan of like the God of War and Rise style fighting, kind of like this one has as well. But it was very seamless. It didn't really have any issues. The grabbing was a little bit difficult, but from a hack and slash perspective, I would see grabbing being a little bit difficult. It's just a lot of square followed by triangle to counter. But all in all, I think it's a really great game. I definitely think it's worth it. I really want to see what the DLC brings. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, this game is super awesome, and you're absolutely going to love it. If you're just a sci-fi video game fan, then you're still probably going to like it a whole lot. All in all, I would definitely recommend it. For 60 bucks, it's still going to be worth it for the moment, especially with the DLC coming out. I don't know how much DLC is going to have, or how much meat it's going to have, or what the storyline is going to entail from the DLC. But I have high hopes for it. Actually, I think this is one of the few games this year that's been actually worth the $60 when it first came out. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to let me know. I should be streaming this for the next couple days. I'm going to try to beat it a couple times. If you guys have any questions or links to the stream is going to be below. Just feel free to let me know in the comments. Peace out, guys.